Connersville is now in session. Please rise. We have our Pledge of Allegiance with Rosemary.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone would please silence their phone, we'll have an invocation by Councilman Frank.
Let's pray. Father, we do thank you for your love for us. We thank you for this wonderful city of Connersville. We ask that you give each and every council person wisdom tonight and let them speak the truth, Father. We ask that you take care of Diana's stepmom, whatever the situation is there with her, Lord. Just give the doctors wisdom. Allow them to heal her body, Lord. We love you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chad. Everyone, again, please silence their phones and everything. Again, I'd like to welcome everyone on this warm day. So we'll go ahead and have our roll call.
Councilwoman Durham,
Present.
Councilman Frank,
Here.
Councilman Bishop,
Present.
Councilman Nobby, Councilman Montgomery,
Present.
Councilwoman Phillips, Councilman Nettie.
Present.
Okay, we have enough for a quorum tonight. You've received your minutes of the February 19th meeting. Is there any additions or corrections to be made? If not, I'll entertain a motion to pass as presented.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay, go on down to new business. I can't, how do you say your name?
Satoli.
Satoli. Would you please come up now?
Said you think of ravioli.
That's right, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
How many times have you heard that?
That's what he told me to do.
Since I was a kid.
Oh, it's all right, Frank.
We got you.
We got you covered.
Hi, everybody. My name's Satoli Glassmeyer. I own a company called History in Your Own Backyard. I produce documentary videos on historic buildings, towns, and sites all throughout Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. I'm doing this project for three reasons. One is to educate the younger generation about these sites so that when these kids grow up, they'll maintain what we leave behind. Two is to educate the general public about these sites because most people from California or Florida, they don't even know that Fayette County exists, much less Connersville. And then three, all of these videos are going to be archived in the state library in Indianapolis so that generations 100 years from now can look back and see what existed in 2019, even if we lose these buildings and sites to fires or storms or progress in the meantime. So that's the whole idea behind the project. I've been working on it for almost 5 years. I've produced over 365 videos. They're on our YouTube channel. We've got over 720,000 views on the channel now with 2,600 subscribers. And if you have about 5 minutes, I've got a short video I'd like to show you. Actually, it's 15 minutes, but we'll just show the first 5 minutes, and that'll give you an idea of what we do. This particular video is about Camden, Ohio, and this will give you an idea on if we do one for Fayette or for Connersville, what it might look like.
Hey, Jim, cut the lights.
Hello and welcome to another edition of History in Your Own Backyard. I'm Scott Borders, and today we find ourselves in beautiful Camden, Ohio, which is in Preble County. And we're standing here at Town Hall in Camden, Ohio, and joining me from the Camden Archives is Terry Anderson. Terry, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you for being here.
It's a wonderful opportunity to come and see this great place. And we're standing in a very historic building in and of itself. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about this building.
This wonderful building was built in 1889, and when it was built, it was really the showcase for the whole county and beyond. Where we're standing right now was the village offices, and then on this side of the building was the fire station. But the real crown jewel of the building was the whole upstairs area, because that was a grand opera theater. It had a raised stage, it had fresco art ceilings, stained glass windows, and it was just a beautiful venue, which actually opened with a opera in 1889, and it was used continually after that time. Hundreds of plays and concerts and basketball games were played up there. It was just a marvelous venue for many, many years.
but now it was affected by a fire at some point, correct?
That's right. Unfortunately, in 1988, the whole back part of the interior building was destroyed by an arson fire. So it stayed that way for several years. Fortunately, 3 years later, a small group of townspeople came up with enough money to put a new roof on it and stabilize the building so that for another day it could be built again. That's what happened then 3 years ago. Fast forward about 20 years, and we've got another group of folks in the town council who came up with the money to finish out this beautiful ground floor of the building, and we're working now on the upstairs too.
Fantastic. Now tell me a little bit, if you will, just about the town of Camden itself and some of its origins.
Camden, the first settlers came to Camden in 1803. It was the Hendricks family. And by 1818, there was enough people here that it was decided they needed to plot out the town. So that was done, and 1818, July 4th, that plotting was recorded in the county courthouse. So that's where we count our birthday from. So we're 199 years strong, and next year is our 200th birthday. By 1924, we have our first post office, and that's when they learned that the name we were going by then, Dover, we needed to change that because there was already a Dover, Ohio, so it became Newcomb, Ohio. We had our first postmaster at that point in time, not a mayor yet, but a postmaster named Ira Place. Ira became the mayor in 1832, and Camden's continued on today.
Now, Cherry, this has a wonderful room in it that holds a lot of the archives, and there are some pictures in that room that date back to the 1800s. Tell me a little bit about those and tie that into the town some.
Well, a great way to do a virtual tour of Camden is with some of our photos. And we've got some great photos of Main Street both directions from the 1900s forward, so that gives you a little bit of a transition. And another thing that I'd like to point out with the Camden area here in the Camden town is that we have several buildings that are from the mid to late 1800s that are still in use today. And we have wonderful pictures of those in different phases of their history. For instance, the IOOF building, the Oteller building, right across the street here, was built in 1851. That building is still in use and has been continuously throughout this period. We also have the Masonic Lodge down here. Prior to that, there was a European hotel on that beside, another wonderful looking building. And in 1911, the Masonic Lodge was built and still in use with our library on the ground floor. Another really interesting building, I think, is the White House Hotel just down the street this direction. It started out, actually, it was built 3 years before this building we're in now, and it was built as our first opera house. It was called Venice Opera House. But 3 years later, when this building became available, it kind of caused the downfall of the Opera House, but that building remained, and it was a feed store, and then by 1900, it was the beautiful...
So that kind of gives you an idea of the type of videos that we do. If Connersville was interested in a project like this, it's pretty simple the way we do it. You can go ahead and mute that, yeah. It's pretty simple the way we do it. I would come in with an interviewer and interview either someone with the Historical Society or one of the council members, someone that knows a little bit about the history of the town, just like she did. It takes about a half an hour to do the interview. After that, we go about and we film everything in town that was spoken about during the interview, whether it was specific buildings or streets or cemeteries or whatever. We film by foot, by car, and by drone. It takes about 2 or 3 weeks to edit the video. Once I'm done with it, you get the master copy on a flash drive. You can do anything you like with it. You can make copies of it, put it on your Facebook page, your website, anything you like. What I do with it, it goes onto our YouTube channel so that everyone has a chance to see it. That's linked up to my website database where the videos are broken down by state, county, and town. All the schools in your county and all the schools in the surrounding counties are sent a link to the video so that the history teachers can show it to their students. That same link is sent to all the mayors and council members in your county and the surrounding counties so that they can share it with their residents. It goes onto a Google Maps page where you can click on any of the pinpoints to see a video in that exact location, and then eventually it's archived at the State Library in Indianapolis. So that's it from start to finish. It's pretty simple. If you were interested, Typically, the cost is $1,899, but I have a co-sponsor that's funding up to 5 of these projects in the county, and they're covering the first $500 of it. So if you were interested, your cost would be $1,399. There's no money up front. I don't bill you until I send you the master copy of the video. All I request is a $100 deposit to secure a date, and that's it.
Okay, one of the questions was asked by the council people, can we make copies, and like we're having the county's having their bicentennial?
Yes.
Can we make copies and sell them?
Sure, whatever you
Okay.
want to do with it.
We can sell them?
If you want to, that's up to you. I mean, it's already going to be on YouTube where everybody can
That's
see it for
the
free,
reason
but if you want to sell it, yeah, that's up to you.
Will this be only Connersville or the whole county?
This would only be Connersville. I'm meeting with the commissioners tomorrow to see what they want to do, if they want to do one on the county or specific buildings. And I will be sending out letters to some of the property owners that own historic buildings in town and in the county as well. But
Okay,
yeah,
let's say the county and the city would want to partner.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen then?
if it would still only be about the city, but as far as pricing, that would be between you and the county.
So the
Pricing stay, excuse me, would the pricing stay the same?
Yeah, it would still be that $13.99, but
Okay.
yeah, it would only be on Connersville, just like what you saw for Camden.
The $13.99, is that for 5 videos?
No, that's
Or
for
that's for-
one. That's for
okay.
one.
So-
The $500 is going to be applied to each of the 5 videos. So if somebody owns a church and they want one done, it would be $500 off on that video. And on a single site video, like a church or school, it's only $8.99.
So it's 500 off of each one,
Correct.
not 500 for the 5.
Correct. Off of each
Right,
video. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and let them think about this and
Okay.
about how soon you need an answer.
We'll be doing the videos here in town on the last Saturday in April.
Okay.
April 26th, maybe? It's the last Saturday in April.
So would we have them available then? How long does it take?
It takes about 2 or 3 weeks to edit the video, so you'd probably get the video around mid-May.
I'll mention that I get emails when there are new History in Your Backyard videos.
I do too.
Do you also? And I typically just look at the ones in surrounding counties, you know, Rush, Union, Wayne, Franklin. I don't, not too much far unless I see something that really draws my eye. But I've always found them well done and very interesting. Are all the videos the same length? Does it change?
They vary. They vary.
You have a maximum or a minimum?
30 minutes for a city-type video. For an individual building, it's 15 minutes is the
Okay, so
maximum.
I've never seen one 30 minutes long.
I've only done 2 that have gone
Yeah,
that length.
That's a long time for
It
someone to
is.
sit and listen to someone talk. But,
Yeah.
But I say listen to someone talk, but it sometimes is a narration as opposed to just a talk when you start showing the photos of the different locations.
Right.
Do you get the citizens involved to speak on this video as you go?
And that would be up to the council or the historical society, whoever I deal with, whoever my contact person is.
I mean, we have some nice historical churches around. So what, if they wanted to do a video on their church, that's $500 for them?
No, for them, typically it's $8.99, but the $500 off of it would be $3.99.
Okay.
So if a
You
church
mean
wants to do
$13.99.
it, please?
You mean 13?
No, I mean $3.99. For a town video, it's $1,899, and for a single building video, it's $899. So it's $500 off of each of those. So for a church or a school or somebody's home, it would be $399 if they wanted to do it. But for the town, since there's so much more involved, along with the drone video, it's $13.99 after that discount.
Now, I don't think the council does, but the mayor have a promote Connersville fund or anything like that?
I have a question. If you're going to the county, since it's only going to be of Connersville, would it be twice as long if you include the county?
No,
Or-
no. I was talking to the one commissioner, I forget his name right now, Dale?
Strong.
Dale
Yeah,
Strong.
yeah. And he was talking about possibly doing one for the Historical Society or for the Tourism Bureau or whatever. He had different ideas, and I guess he's going to explain that to me tomorrow.
Okay. Any more questions for him?
None for me.
Okay, thank
Right,
you very
thanks,
much for
guys.
coming.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you much.
Okay, Rosemary?
Resolution 2019-10 is a resolution to reimburse $790 into the police telephone. Resolution 2019-11 is a resolution to transfer $30,000 from the Airport Rotary Fund to the Airport Capital Improvement Fund.
Okay, is there any questions for Rosemary?
Can we take them together?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2019-10 and 2019-11.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolutions 2019-10 and 2019-11. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Item D, pending ordinance 3495. Okay, we'll have it opened up for, yeah, there it is. Open up for a public hearing, so I'll close the council meeting. Open it up to the public. Is anybody here to speak on this? If there's no one, I'll close the public hearing, open the council meeting back up.
Might just explain what it is.
It is a pending ordinance 3495 is an ordinance to, for additional appropriation for the park pool bond payments to cover 2019 and the amount of $1,112, $112,360.70.
Go with that. I like the other payment better.
I like it,
Yeah.
$1,000 a lot better.
Yeah, that'd be
We were
kind of nice.
smiling.
Yeah, okay, need a motion and a second, pass on first reading.
So moved.
You have a motion?
Second.
You have a second? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, is there a motion to suspend the rules and go to third and final?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules on pending ordinance 3495 for $112,360.70. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Need a motion to go to third and final.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to pass pending ordinance 3495 on third and final. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Okay. Pending orders 3496. Rosemary?
With the rate studies that we did on utilities last year and the sewer and water rate bonds that were passed, that also made adjustments to the payment in lieu of taxes, and this is just updating to the current payments.
Okay, is there a motion and a second?
Got a few-
And we have a motion, is there a second?
We got time to talk about this?
Yeah?
Okay, I got a few questions. I don't remember this ever being mentioned when we were going through it, payment in lieu of taxes. What exactly, cause I got two pieces of paper here. One is, I'm not sure who this is from. It doesn't say, it says I, but I don't know who it's from.
Well, that's for another date.
That's for another day, okay?
Yeah.
So, exactly what is this pertaining to? That we do, that money is doing what? What is that?
We currently we've been receiving payment in lieu of taxes from the utility company since
Right,
10.
right.
Okay, with the rate studies, the new calculations for the payment in lieu of taxes went up, and so this is increasing it.
So, is there a way to,
You were saying?
I hate Siri. That's scary that they listen to you. Man. No, I forgot what I was saying here now. I just don't remember that big of an amount ever being presented or being mentioned, unless any other council member, because I would remember a number like that. And it's not that we don't need the money as a city, because we do, but honestly, I think that money, if that rate change should stay the same amount we've been getting, I'm fine with keeping. The rest of it really just stays utilities, so that can keep rates down in the future, or maybe that would have lowered rates a little bit instead of having the increase that we had. I just don't remember that big of a number coming back to me, because I would have red flagged that number if I would have seen it. And did any other council member see that payment in lieu of taxes? That knew what it was?
It's every
No,
month.
the new amount, no.
That's what I mean, the new amount.
Yeah, the old amount, and I don't have proof of that because I don't have the original ordinance with me. But I was thinking the original ordinance had some kind of language where they were supposed to have increases to keep up with, since it's payment in lieu of taxes, that it was to have been keeping up with what property tax would have been.
I understand the
And,
purpose
but
of it.
never was.
I understand the purpose of it. That's a chunk of money.
It is.
And not
Dave
saying-
said, oh, go ahead.
Not to say that we don't need it as a city, because we do. I'm just not in favor of that. I think that money needs to stay
The
for
actual
utilities. 'Cause
rate
they-
ordinances suggested rate increases over the next 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't remember spelling out the property limit taxes being that much. coming
And
back to the
what
city.
the additional of that will be staying in the utility budget to go to their future improvements.
I think I talked to Dave the other day, and I think he said, what was it that that is just like any other utility, which would be the gas company or anybody, paying their fair share of income, of property tax? Is that what we talked about, something like
It's not
that?
really is.
Yeah, my understanding of payment in lieu of taxes, since the utilities is a ratepayer-supported entity, even though it's owned by the city, it's ratepayer-supported, where all other entities owned by the city come from taxes. So, police, fire, park, that this legal monopoly, which is the municipality, that they would pay taxes, payments in lieu of taxes, equal to what the gas company has to, the electric company has to, the phone company, all of them are paying
Yeah, I know
taxes
what
at today's
Oh, I
rate.
know what it is.
Yeah.
The point is, it went from 250,000 to 480,000, and then in 4 years.
Because they
it's gonna
haven't
be
been looked at
800,000.
since
I understand
2009.
that, but if they did the study, that, I would've thought that information, that would've stuck out to me. I don't remember ever hearing that, or seeing any information on us, the city gonna receive that much money back on property payment in lieu of taxes. To me, either keep the money with the utilities, because they got a lot of future projects to pay for, correct, Mike?
Yes.
In order to keep from, or it could maybe have rates not been risen as much if we would've kept that payment in lieu of taxes down. I just don't agree with the way that being done. I guess that's me, because
Yeah.
we're just raising taxes on people without really, we didn't even know it.
Going
No,
along
we're
with
not
what you're
raising the
saying.
taxes, we're raising the
Rates,
rates.
it's the same thing.
Right, going along with what you're saying, I don't remember a conversation stating that this will be part of that rate increase, or not. That's not a fair saying. I should say that this will be a payment made out of the rate increase, just like their insurance is out of the rate increase, their employment insurance is out of it, their gasoline, their electric, all that is paid out of it.
Is it truly associated with the rate increase, or is it just time because we haven't
It's
looked at
rates.
it in a while? Or both?
It's really based on, the last time we got, when they set the amount, it was shortly after a rate study.
And that was when,
The rate study would have been in '09, and the letter was, and the ordinance was in 10 when they set the rates.
On
Or
the payment in lieu of
payment in lieu of
taxes
taxes.
was set, so we can, that's not state driven, because I know payment in lieu of taxes is usually a federal thing, and state. But we can change it, we can set and change that rate ourselves on payment in lieu of taxes. I know because it's offsetting property taxes. I'm
You've got,
just-
I mean, you've got the accounting, firm that takes care of this, the one that says.
Oh, I understand that,
I
but
mean, I can also call the courthouse and say, you know, what should, if they were not a government-owned entity, what would their taxes be?
are we able to set our run rate is my question? To reduce that so that the utilities keeps their money, or,
I hate to answer that, but I think you can. I mean, you got options. You can leave it alone. You don't even have to charge it, or you can leave it alone, or you can raise it.
I'm
what
fine with
study says.
the amount we've been getting, but the substantial increase kind of bothers me over the rate increases, and we got so many future projects to pay
Yeah,
for.
he wasn't very excited about it either.
Well, I understand that, but that's not my point, because we got a lot of projects we need to fix here too. I mean, trust me, I just, it really bothers me. If we can, so what is this ordinance here actually, because I've read it, Mr. Lawyer, maybe you should explain this one. What are we actually voting on here with this, that we accept the 480,000 or the 250,000? That's my question on this ordinance.
This ordinance is, except for the changes of the ordinance numbers that you see there in paragraph 3, and the date, I think, is pretty much word for word way the existing ordinance that was enacted in 2010 is.
But there's no rate in there.
No, and the one in 2010 did not provide a number either, but it is
didn't.
based on the authority of this ordinance was how the rates were determined.
So when was the first ordinance written? Was the first ordinance written in 2010? Because I thought Ellison did that.
I thought it was, but I don't know that he was mayor in 2010.
Yeah, there hasn't been
He
a rate
wasn't. That's-
increase since
He wasn't.
then.
That's why I was asking.
He wasn't.
But he said that would refer to the one prior.
Now, this is the first rate increase we've had since 2010.
Okay, there's the answer.
But I think they adjusted it in 10.
Okay, started in '03, adjusted in 10.
The payment in lieu of taxes was? So they did adjust it.
I don't know about the 2010, I just know when it started.
This has to do with there being a monopoly, right? That's one of the reasons
Well,
that this is set
no.
up.
I think it has to do with this Indiana code that says that the city can ask from their
Yeah.
municipality, their municipal utility, a payment in lieu of taxes. It says they can.
From my understanding, I was researching payment in lieu of taxes. It was derived by the federal government when they had state parks and the counties were losing their money tax base because of state parks. You have so many thousands of acres and your county's losing that tax base. No one's paying taxes. So they was able to charge the federal government payment in lieu of taxes to get, basically you're charged, can you tax the government? Basically, they're getting their money back from the tax loss that they have. So apparently at some point, and I didn't know this, because I never found anything on it, that the cities can do that with a city-owned municipality to get some tax, to get some revenue back. Just, if they're a private corporation, we'd be charging them that.
They would be paying property taxes.
They would be paying property taxes. So, and I get all that, and I understand all that, but one, it bothers me, I didn't know about it when it was presented, because I would have raised some flags. And if that's a rate we can adjust, I would like to adjust the rate down, because that money needs to stick with utilities so they can do their future projects, because water mains are how old?
They're
They're,
50 plus, 60 plus.
oh, some of them are older than that,
Yeah.
in the hundreds. And, yeah, the
And
city.
they'll have
the city
rate
needs the money.
increases over the next 3 years to help do
Yeah,
those projects.
I understand, but then that's gonna make our payment load taxes go up to $800,000.
No,
at the end
well,
of the
because
day.
we're gonna set it like this, to that amount, until we have another rate study.
You know, Rosemary has froze it.
We have Mike, do we have an outside consultant
My
that
goodness.
comes in and does the rate study and tells us?
Umball does.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Well, let me go ask for a vote on this. We'll do it by roll call.
Well, you only have
What do we-
one,
I
a
don't know.
motion to,
What
You
specifically
don't have a
are we
second.
voting on?
Okay,
This is keeping it, the rate the same, correct?
right.
no, it's, taking the rate to the current
What it is now.
2019 numbers.
So we'll put right there.
Which is a 489.
Yes.
Okay.
You got a motion?
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
Councilman Nettie?
Yes.
Councilwoman Durham?
I'm not sure. Can we put it in an account? Can we earmark it? Would be a good question.
We don't,
You don't really do that.
Currently,
That would
the
be
request
after-
is just to
that'd be
put in
after
the
this.
general
General.
fund.
Right. That would be after this.
Yeah. Yes.
Councilman Frank?
No.
Councilman Bishop?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Yeah. 4-1.
Okay, we have a 4-1. Is there a motion to suspend the rules and go to third and final reading?
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Again, we'll take a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Durham?
Yes.
Councilman Frank?
No.
Okay, that takes it to the next meeting. Okay, is there anything come under old business? You know, what I'd like to do is right now I have a River's Edge committee. And, I need people to be sitting in on that control the money. So I'm appointing Dave Nutty, Diana Phillips, and Chad Frank to this committee to sit in on our River's Edge meeting to listen to the fundings and stuff. Because I know, Dave, you ask a lot of questions, and by sitting in on this committee, you would be able to answer all those, or ask all those. So I'll let you know when our next meeting is. We meet a little,
Do you attend those also?
yes. Yeah,
Why can't we just have the whole council sit in on it?
because that'd be more than a quorum.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm just gonna have it set in on that. And, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And like I said, I will let you know when the meetings are. Usually they're around 5 o'clock in the evening. And so I'll just let you know.
Will we get some feedback on that?
Yes.
The person people's not allowed to attend? Or
Yes.
not able to? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything for miscellaneous business? Anybody got anything?
Actually, I do. Daryl's not here, but I know he has been diligently checking in with potholes and filling them when weather, permits. I mean, he is watching some because we have some out our way that did get, repaired for as long as they'll last. But if you don't hesitate to call and, call one in if there's perhaps a new one. Make sure it's not on a, state road because he can't do those. But anything else, but he does have a list and they are checking back with them. I can attest to that.
Okay.
So
I was in a Discover Connersville meeting a while ago with Chad, and one of the things I brought up was, have you noticed the mulch downtown? The reason we're putting mulch in is we've taken all the, there's been one court claim filed for someone falling in a grate. So we had all the grates removed, filled with mulch. Also, we contacted Duke Energy, and some of the poles they have, they've sunk down enough to where they're toe trippers. So Duke allowed us to put mulch in them, And also behind the Daniel's Farm Girls restaurant, we've had 2 people fall over the parking stops back there.
Which that parking lot is a city-owned parking lot.
Right. So all those parking stops will be coming out, the poles will be coming out, and we'll be striping it. So there'll be no more tripping over the.
Is that lit?
Well, there's one pole just about at the edge on the north side of that parking lot. There's a light there. Now, whether we can ask Duke to turn it a little bit and do that, but I go down there and I think what it is, we just had some snow cover and people didn't see it and tripped. So we're going to see how this works out. So
I do want to make mention that, and you and I have discussed this, that yes, that's behind the Daniel's Girls Farmhouse restaurant, but it's also behind all the other businesses on the first part of the 600 block of
Right.
Central. So that is a city parking lot, so it's not restricted,
parking.
other than, of course, no large trucks, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's the picture of it right there. So if they have a business through there, any of the businesses can you be using it.
The old telephone company.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's across from the telephone company, yes.
That's the pole you're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna have those poles removed. There's poles in this, I think if, there's like 3 or 4 poles where it used to be maybe some kind of, I don't know if a business had a sign there or if there was a no parking sign on it. But there's no signage on them now. So we're gonna pull all those out. We're gonna pull those 2 there in front where the patch is and the yellow one. And then that way you'll be able to pull in and out without tripping over anything or.
Is the city paying for that, or is that partially Duke's responsibility, or do you know?
No, on the Duke, turning the Duke,
Yeah.
I think that they won't charge us anything, but there is a pole there that it's just about the end
That's
of,
the reason I asked.
yeah, and they might just turn it to where it flashes more light down in there.
When did the city acquire that lot?
Oh, shoot.
Oh, years ago, when
Oh, really?
when the building was torn down. So how long was that? I
Yeah,
don't know
okay.
how long that was.
Long time.
Yeah, very, very long time ago.
I don't remember it.
Maybe, maybe
You probably wasn't here yet,
So.
Chad.
Probably wasn't here yet.
It could've been
So anyway,
73.
that's what we're doing. So
Further back
we
there.
do have one tort claim where someone did fall over a grate. So next week, if the weather fits, we've got a crew coming down to start raising the bricks. And I heard Chad has done it in the past, so Chad, you want to come down?
No. I spent a whole summer raising those bricks.
Okay, so just let that know. Anybody else got
I
any?
have a question. Where are we at with the EMS renovation at the old Grandview Pharmacy? I've been
Well,
up
we're
there
still
twice.
waiting on the permits. We had to wait for the state,
We're still waiting on the permits?
from the state, yeah.
How long has that been? Because I talked to Dale Munson a month ago, and I've been up there twice, and I can't ever.
It's not a fast process.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything with the state is slow.
Yeah.
If Mike doesn't mind, I'd like to ask him a couple questions about the project going on North Grand.
Okay.
I see that tree trimmers are there now.
Yep.
I guess in this case, not so much trimming, but removal.
Yeah, they're not trimming, they're taking out.
Yeah. And will this be a sidewalk to sidewalk or curb to curb?
Sidewalk to
Okay.
sidewalk. Pretty
And-
much gonna match the lower
Okay.
ground.
So does that mean that city itself, not the utilities, city itself has something to pay because it goes to sidewalk to sidewalk?
Yeah, it's a 80-20 match.
Okay.
I'm not for sure what the city
Well,
share
that-
was.
We've already
Okay.
paid for the
We've already-
construction.
Okay, good deal.
The only thing that's there to pay now is, what, the easements or the right-of-ways?
Things like that pops up, yeah.
Yeah. The other question that's been asked me, unlike the lower part of Grand Avenue where no one could drive through for a long time, is this North Grand going to be one side then the other, or is it going to be done the same way?
We're gonna have a planning meeting Thursday to relook at that. We're looking at leaving the east side, west side, starting on the west side, leaving the east side one way, getting that finished, then switching over to the east side.
Okay.
But we're having this discussion Thursday with the contractor to find out what is gonna be the best way to do that.
Will there be a public meeting somewhere accessible as it was the first part? There was a
think
meeting up at the Miller
That would
Building.
be up to the group. I mean, if we decide to do that, we can do that. I don't think we have one scheduled,
No.
no.
Because when that lower part was done, there was a meeting at Miller Building, and all interested parties could come, and
Yeah.
they actually had a display of the map and.
Well, I think up there in the old Domino's Pizza, I think there's a map up there, isn't it?
I think
Yes.
it's important to have a
Yes, I
meeting
saw it.
where the people.
Well,
that are
I'm
most
not gonna tell
affected.
people if they wanna see something to go up to Old Domino's and look at the map. But if there was a meeting where people could,
It was fairly well attended.
I thought it was well attended, and I thought there was some good answers, and
Well,
question.
And I
Make a
think-
note of that.
I think it
And
would
that's
be-
something we could do when we know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah, I
met with the
would
school and the nursing
get my
home
ducks in a
already.
row
and,
first, yeah.
But there's been some changes that the contractor would like to see, so we're having another meeting Thursday about it.
I
At
think
1:30?
Yes,
And instead of going from Grand towards Park Road, you're going Grand towards Western, right, on 24th?
we're not doing 24th Street. That's been taken out.
Oh, where are you gonna send this stormwater?
In the same line that's Lower Grand.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh,
And they'll take it, huh?
That's what the engineers say.
24th
the
from
ones that
Grand
took
to
it out.
Western is.
All right.
Can I ask Mike a quick question while we got him up there? Do you have a tentative date, or have you started on a project up is it Tarkington Heights up on Major Trail or wherever?
The Major Drive,
Yes. Weather?
as soon as the weather, I mean,
Okay.
it's ready to go.
I figured you were.
We're just
Oh,
waiting,
damn muddy mess.
contractor's waiting,
You can't get
so.
in there. Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if he tried to set it or not. Thank you.
Not
That's
yet.
all I got. Thank you.
And I do want to confirm that on or after April 1 is when they're gonna start
That's the plan.
turning shovels, right?
That's the
Weather
plan,
permitting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why on or after, so.
Yep.
I think a meeting would be well attended, especially since the lower part already happened. I'm sure they have similar questions and,
Well, I'm sure one of the
Through it,
questions
some of
would
it.
be, you're not going to make this road go through 2 construction season,
Yeah.
and we're not going to do
We're
that.
not gonna do that,
Well,
so,
because they don't have alleys
right.
north of 24th,
Correct.
like the other
Which is
people did.
one of the reasons I think they're looking at one
Right.
side or the other.
Right.
Yep.
And maybe that in itself would answer most of their
Right.
questions, but.
Last meeting we had, we talked about having a public meeting, but we just gotta make sure we have our,
Ducks in a row.
yeah, before we
Well,
open
yeah,
it up.
make sure you have the
so.
right answers. and-
Right.
Sure. Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Michael.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mike.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, and a motion second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Adjourned.